Hello, everyone. Got some folks joining in. Open up the chat in a second. Got my main man.
Hello, sir.
You guys are lucky. This guy has not taken a single meeting with me this week, but he wanted to be here for you.
Yeah. I'll give a warning. I'm going to sound extra nasally today.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jumping
There we
in.
go.
Jumping in.
Sean is not Taylor this time. Very exciting.
Whoa, Sean is Sean, not
Yeah.
Taylor.
Morning,
You're muted. Still look
afternoon.
cute though. There you go.
That whiteboard looks interesting. Is my name on there?
You see at the over the bottom here, there's one with a red circle beside it. That's your
Yeah.
name right
Oh,
there.
nice. I
Red
love
one.
red ink. Red's a great color.
No, we found the only way to really help Taylor and I push sales calls we're on is to have a live board where everyone's accountable and you can see who's failing and winning.
Who's winning right now?
It's pretty neck and neck, actually. Taylor's been away a few days, so he's behind.
Love it. Beauty. Got a bunch of beauties jumping on.
So guys, we have a fun guest today. I think everyone will be excited about them. I did tweet it, so maybe some people have seen that, but
You
excited.
spoiled it?
I wanted to see if we could get like a last minute surge of
Ooh.
and I was peer pressured by Mr. Brandt over here. So blame him. If you're gonna blame anyone, it's not my fault.
All right. Sean, you soiled it. Everyone here was just going to come on unless they jump on Twitter right now, which they shouldn't, but I guess we soiled it.
I gave away the ending.
All right.
Love it.
Okay, so the one thing we have that's fun is our guest is not coming with any websites. So we have two options. And I wanted to come very fresh on this. Do we go with, hey, let's go find some websites from the audience of people telling us brands that they want to see roasted? Or do we just go full audience love and just give them the business and like just help for an hour and a half? It really is up to you two because I'm just here as the MC. I bow to the CRO gods before me.
Well, Sean's Canadian and I'm from New York, so uh I say that every time, but it's so awesome. We could just tell everyone how awesome their website is and just like hype them up and like give no feedback and just be like, that's so awesome. And just,
Yeah, yeah.
take a turn.
I'm not really great at positive feedback. I really thrive in the negative.
Oh,
But we
dude,
can
all this guy sends me every day is like, hey, dude, you said this, you wrote this tweet, your grammar is wrong. Oh, you did this, it's wrong. You're raising your children improperly. Like it's just every day.
I can't speak to raising children. I have a beautiful golden doodle at home, but
Yeah,
he's very well behaved. But from
yeah.
what I hear, dogs and kiddos are not the same thing.
No, but kids eventually learn to poop somewhere and you don't have to pick it up. Eventually. That's the only thing you have to look forward to ever. Is like is you don't have to carry the bag around with you after a while.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Wilson doesn't talk back to me much. I don't know how what age they start talking back.
Amazing. Guys, look at this. We got Colombia, we got Vancouver, we got Sydney, we got Mexico. That's
Yes.
beautiful. That's beautiful. India, Seattle. Oh, Mandy Moshe's in the house. What up, Mandy?
Who do I see? Who do I see? I see Alon. Hello.
Minneapolis,
Chico, ¿qué
Wisconsin,
pasa,
Denver,
amigo?
San Diego. Go Pods. That's right. 1-1 in Korea. Let's go. Um, Peru. This is
Hmm,
fantastic. We're global domination. So guys, I
global.
think number 5 should be for the people. I just have this weird we've been giving too much value to our guests, and our guest is coming on, and I think he's a man of the people as well. So we could just have people drop sites, um, and do that. Oh, guys, look, guest is here. Dylan, you didn't know this guy was coming on, did you? This was a low key behind the scenes. Sean and I were texting him, "Hey, join this session." What's up, Mr. Sharma?
Hey, I was about to text him.
Yeah.
Mr.
Hello.
Sharma, how's it going, buddy?
It's going well. Excited to be here.
Yeah, you should be. We got a bunch of awesome people. We're doing some global domination. We got like Peru, we got India, we got all over the US, Latvia, got Mexico, people from Australia, Colombia, Vancouver. We're looking pretty good here.
Have we done a temperature on the audience so far, 1 to 10, how everybody's feeling in the chat?
Oh yeah. It's pretty frothy right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
feeling good about everyone being around NPS of 8 plus so
Okay.
far. Let's see if we can get that.
Hey, we
Oh,
got
10 out of 10.
Connor with a 10.
Yeah.
It's the 10.
Beautiful.
Oh, not even 11. Also, you
Yeah.
guys, you'll see at the bottom in the blue box, it says to hosts and panelists. Change that to everyone. Everyone can see what you're saying.
Okay.
But I guess no one's here. Is nobody here? Nobody's lighting up the chat. I don't see anything.
Yeah. Let's
These
see what we
emojis
got.
aren't up.
We got 50 people here, and we got one comment back from Nick's question. That's not good. That's not good. We need
Can
more.
they maybe not chat?
No, they can. They can. Everyone's been chatting.
I need Ramiz in here.
They've been going to let's see, to everyone. Yeah, everyone can chat. They just have been doing host and panelists. So if you change your guys' chat to everyone, then everyone will be able to see it. I've changed it. There we go. 12 out of 10. Boom. Same person. All right, guys. So we have a couple of websites that have been given to us right now. Nick, just so I gave you a rundown this morning. What we do essentially is we look at these websites and we'll choose a different page. Usually we go on the home page above the fold to start, but we dive deep into collections pages if someone sends their collections page or product page. And we essentially go through what we see that's working, what we see that's not working, and the recommendations we would do to change it. And a lot of times what's fantastic is Sean and Dylan will not agree. And I'll just kind of watch and be like, oh, this is fantastic. I didn't even have to start anything. And so having you here essentially is like, our idea is how can we take 3, 4 minds that see the world the same and different, mash them together and give value to this audience, and help them build incredible websites. So let's do that. Look, he's at a 13 out of 10, guys. All right, so we're gonna go with the first person that was here. Dylan, I am not in my in the dungeon with the triple screen, so I need you to drive on this one.
Ooh, screen, maybe.
So yeah, I'm single screen, no 48 right now.
What? Chase got this 48-inch screen, and he like has like 4 tabs opened up. It's just one giant monitor that's like your wingspan, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
wild.
it's the greatest thing ever. They're building something in that area of the house, in that wing of the house. It's a garage. So we're gonna go with bank webinars. I just put it in the chat for everyone. That's what we're gonna go with first. So I'm excited to see this one because I didn't even click it to see what it's all about. This could be anything. Sean,
There was
what?
there was Grand Cru above that as well.
Yeah, we did that one last time, so I want to give someone new, but we're going to definitely get to it. Connor, since you also were the first person to say 10 out of 10, it is definitely next in the queue. We're just going to go with something new first, and then we'll get to Grand Cru next.
Sweet. Alrighty. As resident screen sharer, I will take my responsibilities very deeply.
Dylan, hide the dirty tabs.
Honestly,
Nick,
he has a magic trick.
don't
He
pull
did
me
it.
up like that. Oh wait, I'm actually gonna pause myself because my laptop's gonna die. So let's there, you guys go at it. First impressions.
Um, is this any of us talk, or is there a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
order?
just go.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think there's a ton of wasted space. The image I'd consider wasted space. That's like oceanfront real estate right there, and it doesn't necessarily connect the dots of the brand and the problem that people are having, or how the solution works or does anything. Webinars for your entire bank, I guess, is it's somewhat of a headline that works, but I still think the first 60% of the page is wasted. Um, Also the contact us button layered on top of the browse button, like that's a big no-no. I'm sure that wasn't intentional. Um, yeah, I think also like I'm not a huge fan of paragraph-like text. I think bullet points would probably work best here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this isn't a landing page though. This is probably just their homepage.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the image at the top should probably honestly be a video. Like if it's webinars as their business, that should probably be a video that sort of shows that it is a webinar and here's the type of stuff we do on our webinars, or here's how many people join our webinars. There's also no social proof here. And
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about banks, you want to have social proof around compliance and like trust and safety, probably mostly.
Just
Yeah.
just of note also, on the mobile version, I'm on my phone, you can't even see the browse all webinars CTA, and based on the wasted space that you're talking about, Nick, that could be above the fold right away. So contact us, also big no-no, but also having this, like we 100% need to move that up. What do you got, Sean? What do you got, Dylan? That's
Yeah,
great.
I agree with a lot of that. I think one of the ways to solve the button overlay issue, because you're going to see that throughout the site if you have your chat there, is even though the maybe the brand primary color is this blue, but at the same time their logo has two colors that aren't that blue. That's a different issue, but just make that chat button a different color. So even if it does end up overlaying on a button and you do need chat there, it at least stands out from it and it's not this accidental two buttons that looks like one. I think to Nick's point, when it comes to like banking, anything finance related, just saying expert is probably not enough. We probably need a little more detail around like what makes them an expert. Or these banking people, or these just people that run what, like any type of context around who's actually leading this. And then to Nick's point, like the social proof side of it, just like it can be something as simple as just how many people have attended these webinars in the past. It doesn't even need to be reviews, just something that's like, hey, you're not coming on to this panel alone. Or other people have done it in the past. Maybe here's some results that they've seen. And then one thing that's super minor, but as a brand background, I always kind of preach this of making your logo responsive, just like your website. So like it just looks really tiny in the context of the website. And I'm sure there's some like legal parameter of like who it's powered by, but on a mobile device, just like drop the bottom line, make the logo bigger. And then, as I mentioned at the start, like the blue in your logo is different than the blue on your buttons. Why? Like there's no reason for that. It's a simple CSS hex change of using the blue or the green. Just keeping everything tight. Like if you're going to build trust with customers when they first land here, all those little nuances of like, it's like ordering a car and one panel is a different color than the rest of the car. It's like, well, this is a piece of shit. They didn't put any effort in.
Yeah.
Those little things that just they're not thinking this is untrustful, but it's those little visual triggers that can really stack up over like time on site.
One
Who's ready
question
for our first fight?
one question, Dylan, I had for you before you go into the fight is how crucial is live chat on a website? Should we have it? Like, so I talk to people a lot about this, but I'm curious what your take is.
Yeah, so it depends on the product. Like if we look at browse all webinars, I'm curious if it's high ticket, these seem to be free, some of them. I probably what I would do here is like have like free webinars and paid webinars, probably something like that. That's something I would do pretty easily. 279, 299. If it gets like, so there's this certain number of, I don't know, I'd call it around like 500 is like this price sensitivity point where people want to talk. Actually, Chase gave me this one in SaaS, which I've learned is kind of true in ecom. Like once you hit that, like after the 499 number, people kind of want to talk to people or get more information or feel more personalized too. So that could be contact, that could be talk, that could be anything. So the price point is low enough here that I don't believe the contact us is like an issue. The other thing is it was over before, or it could be, is that you can have it not like you can have it invisible above the fold, but then when someone starts scrolling a certain amount, then it comes on. So it's not lazy loading, but it's a lazy delay. So if you give a little lazy delay to this, it's not going to ever be an issue because no one's going to come right here to your homepage and click contact us. But if they're down here, shop webinars, okay, interesting webinars that suit. This bank trainers conference. Actually, I have a question about the conference. Let's go over here, right? So that's the kind of thing where it doesn't need to be above the top. So let me get into my fight. Nick said there should be a potential webinar or a video or something there. Never once have I split tested something where a video above the fold outperformed an image. So happy to duel to the death there. We've just seen that, especially when in the background, people try putting text over it, even if there's text below it. Yes, there are VSLs, but VSLs are very unique landing pages where there's a headline and the video is just there to support the headline. So if any of you guys are watching now and you guys have a video above the fold, please, for the love of money, which I say most of these times, go and test an image instead. Um, so that's pretty much it. So we've done a bunch. Let's just go over to a product
Just
page theoretically.
one thing on that, Dylan. Do you think it has, and I'm sure it does, but whenever you're using video above the fold, especially on that homepage first load, it definitely has a lot to do with, and how much it converts from a testing standpoint has to do with how it's built, right? Like if
Yeah.
they implement it and it's super heavy, it doesn't matter what the content is. It's going to drive down page load speed time, and it's going to hurt conversion. And then also just how informational it is, right? Like you said, if it's just a background like marketing video, probably not worth it. If it's a webinar screen showing 500 guests all like interactively commenting, like that could be useful. So I definitely, like, you're the one testing, so I can't argue with that, but I think there is definitely use cases for this where it could work.
So I'm gonna interject here. I think there's something super interesting kind of in between this. So I saw a GIF on a website that I was reviewing for our newsletter this week that was actually kind of threw this on its head, which was it was a like a one kind of like Haven where you would put a bunch of different things in it. And it essentially was showing all of the things you could do with it over like a 8-second loop. And I found it incredibly useful because automatically I was put into kind of what I needed to do, where an image specifically would have not told me everything that I need, but a video would have been too much because it would have been like, all right, dude, like I get the point. Just tell me what I need to know to click on this button to make it. And so I think there's a balance. It really is product dependent, but again, the data that we have across Dylan's split test before and then what we have now is videos generally are not additive. They're good secondary things that you can have once someone has gotten past the above the fold, but it's like there's a bit of a covenant. I've been talking about this a lot. There's a bit of a covenant you make when someone comes on your website that you're going to give them the most tactical, useful information possible for them to make a decision to stick around and go to the next level, whether that's scrolling your homepage or clicking into the next section of your website, which is a collections page, PDP, whatever the fuck. We all agree and disagree at the same time. But
So in the name, let's keep rocking. Usually we spend some, I don't know, sometimes
yeah,
even
this
on
is
one
good. No,
website.
we're ready to go. We'll go to here, let
So
me
this is the product page. Let's just do
yeah,
this last one.
yeah.
Where this product page, I don't know why there's no image here. It's just all text and there's really not much supporting it either. This on demand looks like a button, right? Like I clicked on it because it looks like it's a button. So I'm sure Sean would have yelled at that one as well. I would say here when it was recorded, maybe it's relevant for like in terms of like regulatory, but I'd probably put that up here, like right here doesn't make too much sense. And then this one token, I'm assuming you guys have a token system of subscriptions and all that type of stuff. You're just taking them further away from the add to cart. I would probably take this token system after they add to cart and probably introduce something there. But this one token, it's something that's called an outbound link. It's taking someone away from the purchase journey. That, yeah, you may want them to go around, but it's literally taking them further away from the purchase. Also, I'm clicking up here, by the way, and it's actually not letting me X out, which is very bad. So that'll be a quick one for you guys, if quick win. Uh, anyone else feeling something specific about this?
I
I
would
think
say, The
Go ahead.
page is currently like written in a way where somebody already knows exactly what's happening, what's going on, and what they're buying. But it's not written in a way where like kind of like you were saying earlier, like you and I could go to the page and fully understand what's going on here. Which I think always like you want to build for a third grader.
Well
Yeah, I
said.
think the it's very technical at the top. Like I would be kicking off this page with potentially an image, but more so just like really loudly saying how long it is, right? Like in the tiny size 8 font, it says 2 hours, but like that should be a tag that's louder. Um, the info on who's presenting it, like you let off the site by saying it's hosted by experts, by professionals. You know, if you scroll up to the top, Dylan, I think her name was Cynthia, like give me more info on Cynthia. What's her background? What makes her a professional? And I'm sure that's further down the page, but if I'm going to hit them with the add to cart, I need more than like the fine print jargon to kind of do that for $279. Dylan, what's your, if you look at this site as trying to get people into kind of their system and interested in their webinars, what's your thoughts on downs, like having an alternate option here for two different things? One, maybe 279s out of their price range. So having like a soft sell at the end of the page or somewhere in the middle to like try a free one, because they did have free ones. And then the other idea would be, what about helping them understand if this is the right quiz for them? Maybe having like a right quiz, right webinar for them, having access to a quiz to help identify, like I saw in your collection page, they had 1,100 webinars. Like, what about some sort of access to a quiz to find the right webinar for them?
Totally, totally agreed. Yeah, last thing I'd say is who should attend and the instructor bio. I think that's super important. I'd probably move that up right around here, maybe somewhere around here. But other than that, I think we did some damage on that one. Chase, shoot me over the next.
You're on mute.
Doing Grand Cru liquids. We're gonna go here. I just sent it to the group. We're gonna go to a product page, or the collections page. So we did the home page last time. Connor was with us, and we'll do UGMUG next. So I'll have that ready. So Jeff's here. We're gonna give him some value, then we'll go somewhere else. Shop wines, cult wines. This is interesting. I was not expecting this to be the page for cult wines. Is this what you want, Connor? This page or collections page? Or a product page, excuse me. All right.
He
This
linked to
is,
one.
yeah. Did he?
Yeah.
All right. He just did. Dylan, you want to click to the one that is in the chat? Collection to product. Okay. Beautiful.
It's this one right here, Dylan. I just sent it in the chat again. You're on mute, Dylan, if you're talking.
I'm just balancing coughing on the side with
Oh,
making this work.
did you see the collections link in chat?
Yep. I don't know why it's not letting me paste. That's pretty odd. Copy. Zoom has never done this. There
Yeah,
we
there
go.
we go. Rock and roll. Okay.
Yeah, so we did roast this one last time. So let's move on to a different one because we did spend some time on this one last
Let's
time.
let's get we promised it, so let's just give 2 minutes on like what we think our like top thoughts are. So we did a version of this on our homepage last time. I guess Nick, you've never seen this page. So like what is like your TLDR? What do you see here that either works or doesn't work?
Um, some of this might just be personal preference, but
Yeah.
I think it's very crowded. It's a very busy page. There's, the notification bar at the top. One, it's hard to read. Two, it's double lined. I'm usually a fan of one full line, like one line or two completely full lines, so it doesn't look kind of like uneven between the first and the second line.
Yeah.
I like that the white bar, the nav bar under it is slim. It's not taking up a lot of room. The headline and the description and the CTA and the hero is a bit hard to read. It might actually be not compliant for ADA. And it also doesn't necessarily like enhance the collection below it. Like the words there don't support what's below it. It sort of just talks about kind of like the general brand promise, which may
Yeah.
be fine depending on where the traffic is coming from. I think the CTA is not a friendly option to put there because it might just put people right below, like it might just anchor you in the scroll. But you know, I'm always a fan of eliminating clicks as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think the collection itself, again, it feels a little bit busy. Um, you know, there's a lot going on. There's 3, sometimes 4 lines of copy for the headline of the product. The price is a little bit hard to read. I might even remove that price from there and put it in the button.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so given the price of the product, I would probably also test instead of add to cart, like something to get people to learn more about the product and really understand it a little bit better because it is a
Yeah.
big purchase. And then lastly, because this is a marketplace, it looks like, um, I would actually probably use the hero section to try to figure out like how to push higher AOV or more bottles in the cart. Because I'd imagine their margins are probably, I don't know, 10%, 20%, but then you subtract any discounts, shipping, and payment processing. Um, there's also quite a bit of variance in price here. It starts with 500, then goes to 300, then goes to 9,000, then 3,000, um, which I would imagine probably causes somewhat of a high bounce rate on this page specifically.
Mhm. I think I agree with all that. I think one other thing to note is the image inconsistencies.
Yeah.
So you're really relying on the consumer to read all the content on each of these to make sure they know what they're buying. And especially if you're going to have add to cart on here for such a high ticket items, they need to be consistent and clear. Like this one right now, we're looking at the one to the left of it is 1 bottle. It's a Magnum, which if anyone doesn't know, that's 2 bottles of wine. It looks somewhat similar to the 750 bottles because there's no in-size imaging, which means we're not showing a reference point of how big it is.
Mm.
That could be a hand on the bottle. That could be anything that can just, maybe it's always beside a wine glass. So you can see it's like double the height of it versus the same height. And then you're also saying on that left one, it's 1 bottle. And on the right one, it's 6 bottles, but the image is 5 bottles. So there's a
Yeah.
lot, you're forcing them and almost causing confusion. Because if I'm looking at $5,000, the difference between 5 and 6 bottles is like, I don't know, $500 a bottle. So like, that's a huge difference. And if they don't read that bottom line, they think it's 5 bottles. So if I'm going to have them add to cart with no info on this product, and even if they know it, you can't just assume that they read all of that and know it's 6. You should be showing 6 or be much louder that it's 6 on the image.
Love it. Yeah, agreed on all that. A last thing I'll give too is what Nick said before about this text not being great. What's different about Grand Cru wines versus all the other ones that we could go to, right? So I would prep them more. This is the brand promise, and especially learn more. You're taking them down here, which I'm imagining this is probably for SEO. Done a little bit of it myself there. But yeah, I think we went through this one more than enough.
Yeah.
Love it. Want to move rock and roll to the next guy?
There. Just dropped it into the chat.
Let's go. I love this brand.
Ugmonk.
Yeah. They rule.
Love it. Ugmonk rules. Let's make sure we can paste it. Why? This is so
He asked if we
frustrating.
could look at, oh wait, no, that was different. That was Grand Cru.
There
We'll
we
keep that offline. I'll take a look at the page and give you some
go.
info.
What pages are so whoever is Ugmonk, would you guys like us to look at a certain page? Where are you sending your traffic? Give us like a quick 1 sentence if you can. That'd be super helpful so we can
Yeah.
make this useful for you.
Yeah. This was
Is
the page that they
super
gave
rad.
us as a link, but we'll wait for him to give us some extra context. But I guess as we wait, yeah, the analog landing page is good to start. Yeah. So this is his landing page that he's sending
Oh,
people to.
awesome. So assuming mostly Meta and Google is where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Cool. Chase, what's your first opinion?
I think so. We were just talking about videos and essentially shitting on videos and animations. I think for a product like this, which I have some context on, knowing essentially this plus you say it's a video image or something that they're coming to, this makes a lot of sense to me because it gives a sense of what you're actually doing with the product. So, productivity has never been easier. Okay, I'm writing these pieces of information here, so I feel pretty good about this. I would love it to be maybe 15-20% smaller as a video. Like there's a lot of open space at the bottom. We could probably crunch a little bit more in there because I like this trusted tool for 30,000. I'd like that to be more visible to people. And obviously we're on web on website. I don't think that that will be the case like on actual mobile. So that's my take. I dig it. This is one of those videos I think actually works really well.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, going forward with that. What do you think, Nick?
I agree. I actually, the first thing I was gonna say was it needs social proof. I didn't even realize the 30,000 number down there. And if I load it on my phone, it's still hidden, like in the same
Yep,
way.
exactly.
Um, yeah, I think like the brand is obviously beautiful and it's got some of the best design, I think. But I think yeah, I mean the video and the even the copy is really good. Productivity has never been easier. I think putting that social proof up at the top, even if it's a very small, yeah, like right where your mouse is, Dylan, somewhere around there, it's like 5 stars with 30,000, written next to it or something that just gives it that stamp of approval. I'm sure there's product awards or design awards that they've won. They could probably put that in the top corners, maybe. Um, but yeah, other than that, I feel like this is a great above the fold land.
Yeah, I do love it. So the one thing that I would say, productivity has never been easier. No one does productivity. I don't know about you guys, but I don't do productivity, right? So like being productive has never been easier. Sounds like a nominal change, but it is confusing
Yeah,
on
I dig it.
first read actually.
I dig it.
So that's one thing I'd say. First off, on number one, awesome product. Whoever this is, I'll give you my address. I would love this. This is awesome. I was actually Googling awesome stuff for my desk literally last night. So super rad. And I love this best-selling author, Josh. That's super rad. Why don't we have that? I know that's right above the fold and where they're landing. The other thing that's a little strange to me is buy analog, right? And get analog. Usually, I mean, again, you never want your button text that are the same call to actions. This is a green buy analog. This is a yellow get analog. I'm assuming they go to the same link. And then how it works is different. That's cool. But again, super clean overall. Really like it. Let's keep going. Trust a tool for 30,000 people. Um, I'm a little
Well, I think even
confused by this
even right
actually.
there, even right there, Dylan, you said 30,000 people, but that word is not there.
Ooh, you're right. For 30,000, yeah, that's 100% true. And people like people. But what I was gonna say is this is combining a testimonial, or at least from I mean, I don't know if this is the founder, I don't know if this is a testimonial, and this headline is used by many people. So it's like this is kind of confusing as a section as well, right? Because it's kind of like a mix of a testimonial and social proof, but they're different types. Like this is social proof as well. I love that this whole below the fold section is going straight into social proof and then how it works really deeply. Like this type of deep video is perfect for like the second or third bucket on a website, especially a landing page, like really, really rad. But this right here, I think that the main thing here, so I say this a lot on these fun how we buys. Nick, I'd be curious on your perspective. I know we were talking about it last weekend, but uh, we've ran over 4,000 split tests at splittesting.com. 80% of the tests that gave a really good revenue lift were copywriting or just changing an image.
Hmm.
All the UX tests, sorry, Sean, those have been about 20% of the victorious ones that have given a positive revenue lift. So here, the UX is on point. Like it's really solid. Like this looks attractive, feels premium. Like I really love how it's designed. The thing is, I think that the copywriting here is a generous, soft 6 out of 10. Uh, and I think that just focusing on copywriting, and again, you don't need a developer for it. Just download a split testing tool, start testing some copywriting. Josh, I don't know if you've ran customer feedback surveys, but you need to see what about it they love the most and kind of go into it there because that's mission critical. But yeah, right here, like UX looks great. This sticky down below here, it wasn't up there before, which is perfect. That's actually what I was mentioning about the chatbot before, which is as you scroll, there's a certain level that you have to get above, you have to get away from the above the fold section for this to now be here. It makes it a lot easier. So great tactic. Again, UX is super on point here. Copywriting is not on point. So let's make it clearer. Nick, curious on yours, because I know you do a lot of listicles and advertorials, and I could give a fun class on a Saturday night for fun about listicles and advertorials. So I actually do think also, as a side note, uh, this is a great match for a listicle, this type of product. It's a
Yeah.
stellar match.
I think even adding like a 5 reasons people love, or again, going through the reviews is really like where the gold is for those listicles. But adding that somewhere here, I think would be great. I agree with Dylan. I think it feels very premium. The UX is super on point. I do think a lot of the changes you could make to see a big difference is probably around the copy, and also even maybe things like how Dylan was like. I really think of these landing pages as Sudoku. You got to really make one change and understand how it affects all the other 9 squares here. And what Dylan was saying around the social proof piece with the quote, even right below the quote, there's some of those publisher quotes and testimonials there. Like those almost feel like a subheading of the 30,000 people, which is also slightly weird. But yeah, I think for the most part, this page is actually really great.
I think I agree with all that. I think on the copy front, just some super small changes. And I've actually discussed a lot of this at length with Jeff. We've had a few conversations over the years and worked on the site and given some feedback. But I think the one thing I've always battled with and pushed back to Jeff on is making the assumption that users know what analog is as a name. And so saying by analog versus shop productivity or something more direct, or maybe that's not direct, but something more literal. You can still brand the product as analog, but don't assume that they know what analog is. And then the other thing that I think is really important about this product is you're focusing on changing people's habits. Making a to-do list is not something new, right? There's 800 apps, probably 8,000 apps for to-dos in the App Store. You're trying to change a habit, get them from digital to physical. And in that social proof on the homepage, Dylan, where we look at Josh Kaufman or whatever, I think something as simple as, rather than telling me what they do, I would love to know how long they've used this for, right? Because the biggest issue with applications is try a new one, use it for a month, ditch it. Try a new one, if Josh has been using this for 5 years, that's all I need to know. That's like, I have so few products in my phone devices ever that I've used for 5 years. So if I can see that these people are holding on to this, that's the best social proof I can have. What he does is less relevant, right? If it's a stay-at-home mom or a CEO in San Francisco, I don't really give a shit. They all have lists. Everyone has busy days. I want to know how long they've used it and if they stuck with it.
You just nailed it. That's why Jeff, I think I said Josh, sorry. That's why Jeff should talk to Nick right after this. An advertorial would crush on this. Like why 30,000 Americans or people have switched to have like increased productivity through not even using their phone or apps or whatever. Like that is such a good like angle.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And also like Josh, I'm sure you'll appreciate Getting Things Done by David Allen is like one of my favorite books ever. It's literally using, I'm sure you know all about it because you made this product, which is 100%, in that area. So yeah, that's super about this product. Really love it. Hopefully that was useful. Let's rock and roll on the next one, gentlemen.
In the chat.
Discount incoming. I love it. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, we don't pitch anything on this. I think that's the hardest pitch we've ever done on a how we buy, which is I want a discount on a product. Those webinars or buy our stuff. Instead, we like to just give value.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I have to take this one. This is the epitome of what I was saying about videos, right? There's a $10 off, there's chats, there's an images. this text, like if you look at some of them that see white over white, like I think it's like 40% of America's colorblind, like people aren't going to be able to see that. So yeah, this is going to be so much better as an image that's really descriptive, as an image descriptive per se, that just shows, probably a good like jump in a puddle and splash or a runner, again, depending on your customer avatar. I can't get out of this. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first thing I'd look at for sure. Um, Practical Easter basket stuffers. That's very interesting. I did not think this was like look, these look like two different brands.
Mhm.
You look at this, and you look at this. I think that's what shocked me the most is like those are two different websites. And I'm sure Sean is like holding back kind Canadian words on the UX. So,
No, I
um,
I definitely agree. There's probably a more tasteful way to integrate, a seasonality to the aesthetic here. Does that thing keep coming in, Dylan? Or are you clicking it?
I'm not clicking it.
Yeah,
Keeps coming back. Yeah, that's
definitely
not
should
good.
only come in once.
Yeah.
One thing to note, and I was literally looking at this site this morning because we did a free trial for them, and I'd love actually your guys' take on this because I completely just pulled it out of my ass, but I think it's really important. If you click on the mobile menu, Dylan,
Sorry, I'm writing down the Ugmonk code. There we go. Yeah. What? Hold on.
so one of the things that we always call out in our audit reports is providing clarity around sales or discounts or deals. And so one of the thing we recommended to this site actually was just whenever you're putting deals or sale in your nav, instead of just saying deals or sale, give them context of the potential savings if it's above a certain barrier. So if it's 5%, maybe hide it and get them to click. If they can save up to 50%, say that because why put the sale on your site if you're not going to actually try and motivate them? And the higher that is, the more important it is to call it out. So I know it's added clutter in here, but I'd love your take, Dylan, on whether or not you think and I'm talking like just like a little blue label or a little just up to 50% off or something like that beside that deals item on the list.
This one right here. So I've seen, yeah, so they're all right here, I think is exactly what you're looking for.
Right, but those are pointless. I may as well say lorem ipsum ipsum.
Yeah, agreed. Well said. Um, I think the biggest gripe, I totally agree. I think that's all valid. Social media links, get those the heck out of there. If you had heatmap.com on there, I'd bet you a year's free heat map, whatever, that like these are hurting, like getting people out of there and losing sales. The other thing too is the wish list. I've been finding some really interesting things where when there's products, wish lists have this like break of like that 500 I mentioned before. If products are above 500, wish lists can work. Keyword can. But like we don't want a wish list on something. I don't even know the price of these products really. Can I find it quickly? Which that's also an issue. Yeah, 39 bucks. So that's something I would not have on here by any means. So wish list account is right here. That's redundant. Other thing too, this is a beautiful space for what has Nick been mentioning this whole time?
Listicles.
Social proof.
Oh, social proof. Yeah.
Close enough. I don't know if you could fit a listicle in here, buddy. Yeah, no, but this is a perfect place for social proof. It's a test that we've been running for quite some time now, and it works beautifully because the navigation is where they're shopping for everything. So even if they're not like reading it super deeply, it's going to be something that before they go and click on any of these, it's going to help a lot. So to be honest, I wouldn't even feel the need to test. Get rid of these socials, put in a testimonial here, like someone's face, the visual 5 stars. I love this thing. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And just put it right here. Swap out those socials for that, and you can thank us later. That's pretty much what I would take a look at.
One question for you, Dylan, on this menu or any type of takeover like this. I always feel like it's honestly very similar to having kids. If there's a video playing in the background, you can count on that they're not doing fucking anything else, right? So when I open this menu and there's a video playing in the background, I clicked on this menu to click through to next links, not watch a corner of a shoe. For me, this should be full takeover and keep their attention focused. It also gives us a bigger canvas, right? So incorporating social proof now becomes a lot easier because I've got more space. Have you ever tested 3/4 of a takeover, full takeover, 50%?
I actually have not. That's one I haven't really looked at. Again, like because we don't have videos here and it's just a static image. If this was just an image of like that shoe right there, if you click it open, you see the shoe. So it doesn't matter too much, in my opinion, that the continuity is there, whether it's full or not.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I haven't gone through and tested that, but is valid.
One last thing on the top nav, if you close this, Dylan. Whenever you're dealing with design, and this goes for anything, there's the visual space it takes up, and then there's the clickable space that it takes up. If you ever have a chance to read Google's design standards, it's one of the more articulate and simple. And when I say simple, it's just like they really speak in plain language versus as a designer and like a total nerd. And so one thing that they really push hard, and every brand should adhere to this, and I would just use their standards for it, is if the icon takes up whatever, 50 pixels, the clickable space should be 1.5 that. So the issue, what I'm pointing out here is you've got search, cart, account, and country all touching each other. And the reason we have clickable space as a pad versus the icon space is you're going to get a shitload of accidental clicks in that nav right now because people's fingers are different sizes. People's just their ability to even see and track is different. And accidental clicks just kill conversion, right? If I go to hit my cart and I hit search or I hit account, there's a chance you lost them. And so just opening those up a bit, long-winded way of saying open them up a bit, and I think you'll see a lot better experience.
The heat map data would just be heatmap.com. It would just be incredible. I'm not pitching anything, just saying, just saying. Nick, what do you got on this?
Honestly,
I'm curious in your opinion.
everybody on this call should be using heat map at the very least, just to see what could be improved. There's no reason you shouldn't be
Yeah.
using heatmap.com.
Yeah.
Even if you're not
Nick,
doing,
send
like,
send us your Venmo QR code after this. We'll hit you. Don't worry. Yeah.
I told Dylan I don't take any referrals.
Yeah.
Too bad. I know
Dylan
your
knows
Venmo.
too.
I know your Venmo though.
That's true, you do.
Nick, what were you gonna say? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything other than like everybody should just be using, like, at the very least, just have it on. There's no reason to not have it on. It's like what, $70 a month?
Yeah, 89 to start, but
Yeah,
you know,
you could
someone
make that back with like one fix that you get will make that $90 back.
I think
I
there
think
should
that
probably be
that's
another
that
discount code dropped into the chat here, guys.
yeah. Might have to go get that wired up. You know, one thing I think I want to come to with all of the information that these fine gentlemen have been giving everybody here is I was brand new to CRO when I came to Heatmap, and I've seen kind of the magic that someone like Nick, like Sean, like Dylan can bring to a brand. And so it's really powerful that every person here is spending the time doing this. And these little changes, you think, okay, I'm changing my copy. Well, if 100,000 people see that copy and it changes your conversion rate by 7, 10, 8% over what your baseline was originally, that's a meaningful amount of revenue and possibly profit because you're not doing anything else to change it that goes into your brand's pocket that you can reinvest to grow more. So like, you guys are all doing the right thing. That's me being a nerd. It has nothing to do with heatmap.com. It is more the fact that you guys care about CRO, anyone who's spending this time with us. It's really powerful. So that's just me being an evangelist for the practice. I don't know. Do we want to go to another?
Yeah, let's jump on another.
All right. I am sending it to you in the chat. We're going remember the 5th of November right now. Name that movie, Sean.
Yeah, I'm blanking.
Dude,
Me and Nick are too young.
V for Vendetta? Come on now.
Clay got
I
it.
would have never gotten that.
Let's go, Clay.
People got it. Yeah.
Sean says he's a film guy. Nope.
Guys, fun fact, Chase was a film producer before he came into marketing.
Yeah, not a successful one. I'm here, so
All right, sweet. So, nightcap. This is a lot. Yeah, Nick, why don't you give some tasty New York takes?
Sure. I think similar to the to a lot of the other sites we've looked at, the hero imagery here doesn't do a great job, I think. I mean, the first one maybe it kind of reminds me of a little bit of an elevated Axe commercial. Um, but I think it's a lot of space to like have wasted for that image. I think there's a lack of social proof here. There's also like I've seen that whenever you have a hero that extends all the way to the edge of the screen, it sometimes prevents people from thinking they can even scroll.
Yep.
So I'd probably change that, move it up a little bit, and show kind of a teaser of what's to come next. Um, yeah, I just think I would probably throw this hero out and redo it, to be honest.
Just one of them. We've also found sliders and the hero don't do too great, actually. This is also a really fast moving slider, like really fast. So I would recommend just choosing which one of these are best. You can test it just down the middle. And curious to the owner of this site, where do you send your traffic? If you guys can let us know, that'll help a lot. Guy Fawkes / Cologne. All right, I'm actually gonna type that one in if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah, let it rip.
Follow the money. Cologne without the nonsense. 30-day money back guarantee. These in the slider, these should just be sitting there. These should just
Yeah.
be right here. Like get rid of
Icon.
that slider.
Easy
Yeah.
icon play right there.
Simple icons. Just go ahead and do that. You don't need to test it. Just go do it. Yeah. For these, that is a heck of a lot going on. Each of those, like I said before, like they look like different brands.
Mm.
Like these two look the same, but that looks like three different brands.
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but that's my first thought.
Yeah, I think there's the benefit of utilizing the text under these images instead of trying to paste everything on the images, at least on collections, is consistency, to Dylan's point. You can control the type a little bit easier and force the team to do that. I agree, it definitely could be more consistent.
Agreed. And Liam just said that SKU is part of a new luxury line.
Yeah.
What's interesting about luxury is it starts at 8, but these are 35, 68,
Yeah.
68. This is
Yeah,
8.
it's actually the least expensive one that they have there.
You get to sample size.
Okay, first
128.
off, too, way too many images, my friend. Again, I hate like it's so weird that I hate plugging heat map, but like literally what I would do here just to get rid of all of these, just look at the revenue per click of every single one of these, and you automatically know which images to remove and
Yeah.
which to rearrange. So quick, easy one, but this is way too many. Like this. I don't think that adds to me wanting to
Yeah.
purchase this cologne, right? Like that doesn't.
So like one macro note looking at this brand in general is everything they have, it feels like they use. And so Liam, this is more of a you can tell us how you're doing this, but if you use 25 images because you did a photo shoot or the 20 images that are there, like it's not actually useful to your audience. Every single person is coming and expecting us as the purveyor of websites and brands to have thought through how to curate something in the most efficient manner possible for them to get value, understand what they're buying, want to buy, and then purchase. Right. And so if they see, these 15 images or whatever that are in this scroll, they're gonna be like, okay, they don't even know what they're trying to sell me. Because like seeing 15 images of cool, handsome dudes with cologne on isn't gonna convince me. Like after 4, I'm like, all right, I get it. Dudes who wear cool clothes and are yoked and have tats use this cologne. Um, like me, of course. And so uh I get that after that. At a certain point, it gets superfluous. SAT word did well on the lit section. I think we can take everything down and be way more targeted on this entire website, the homepage, collections page, everything. And the more you dumb it down is not the right word. The more you simplify, the better results you're going to get across all of this. Like this has all the bones or the meat that you need. You got to just cull the entire thing. So
We,
that's not a tactical one, but just a macro note in general, looking at all these pages.
it's a really good point, and I think that it's actually something we used to run strategy sessions on for customers in my previous life, where this exact problem would come up, where they spent a bunch of money on photography, they have a ton of assets, and so I would advise everyone on the call to do this is take all of them. Let's say it's 100 images, put them all in a board, and as a team, you just which one is communicating the most? It's communicating the absolute critical things you need to communicate. Okay, drag it over. When you pick the next one, the first question to answer is, does it communicate anything new, right? That wasn't communicated in the first one. And if we go through that gallery right now, every one of them is communicating almost the same thing, right? Okay, I've already seen the packaging, so this one's gone because that's the only thing. I've already seen the packaging, gone. I've already seen, okay, this is the back. So maybe you could save it because I haven't seen the back yet and that stitching is nice. So maybe you could save that one. But as you work through this Rolodex of images, just ask yourself, have I already communicated this? Because just like the page, right? You think of an Amazon listing. Amazon listings are so direct in terms of their images because they know from data that people either do this or they do this. And so you're hedging your bets. This is a communication point. And so making sure that every new image, if you're going to have 15, it sometimes can be okay if every new image is communicating something beneficial and new to the user.
Yeah, love that. Nick, what do you got? We got 2 minutes left on this one. Do you have anything new to add as Sean has just been preaching and teaching?
No, I don't know that I have anything I would add based on what you guys have already said.
So one thing I think is super interesting when you look at this, because
Ooh,
I'm going to give a
I forgot
brand that
about
doesn't
this.
necessarily make sense with this brand specifically, but Dr. Squatch, something they do if you go study their ads is they'll have different value props within them that sells them like, oh, you're getting the grime off your body. Oh, you smell incredible. None of these images sell me anything except cool packaging, cool dudes, and like cool locations. But if there was something, an image of like, I don't know, I'm just saying a woman smelling the guy or something, and it, like them hug, like, there's something new that communicates because like smell is a hard thing to communicate anything impactful. You have to essentially go with the sensory activation that it creates. So does it make something happen in your life that's going to make you feel better? Oh, you're going to smell great. You're going to smell like whatever nightcap smells like specifically. I think making sure that you have something that actually is helping people understand the outcome that they're going to receive from this could be really impactful here. Because like the packaging is dope, images are dope. Like I have no qualms with any of that. It's more just how do you get them to actually understand what they're buying for $124?
Yeah.
Well said.
All right. Well, we came in under a minute. That's great. We're going to go to
Okay.
Monogram Coffee. Here we go.
Well, this is a buddy of mine from 2 hours away from me.
Another. I don't know if we can help
You'd
another.
be nice then?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help Canadians. They
Oh,
like,
don't be
Wow,
deep.
this is perfect. No changes.
Rip it
yeah.
apart, guys.
Oh, there we go.
No, I'm
Oh, well,
kidding.
definitely have that pop up
Actually,
on
before
a
we
time.
start, Dylan, any like, do these buttons at the bottom, do they fucking do anything? Like, I feel like they're just, I've never clicked on one in my life.
It's a no from me,
That's
Doc.
fail. That yeah,
Yeah,
that is
everybody
that's a
should delete
for
those
me, though.
buttons right now.
Yeah, I
I-
don't I literally do this every week, review 3 websites and do a review on them, and every single person has them on their website. And whoever is purveying this software is just laughing their way to the bank because they're like, these idiots. Everyone has put this on their website. I have not changed it in 5 years. No new lines of code, no innovation, and everyone thinks that it matters. So take them off. Data supports none of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Nick,
Yeah.
start. What do you got? What do you got on this one?
All right.
Nick
I
loves
think,
this right here.
if I didn't know that the domain was Monogram Coffee, which I probably wouldn't if I clicked from an ad, it's hard to
Yeah.
know in the image what that is. Like that doesn't necessarily scream coffee to me. Um, I do like at the top, you've got 1,700 monthly subscribers. I would imagine if you've got 1,700 subscribers, you could probably put something bigger there, like, X number of bags shipped or X number of pounds roasted, something like that, that feels a little bit more grand. I think with the coupling of that, you probably want reviews somewhere. Like coffee is something that people are super stingy about with their taste and their taste profile. And so I think adding more social proof earns you the trust from somebody for another 30 seconds of scrolling and looking into the brand. So I think adding that is worth it. I think Dylan would agree 2 CTAs is probably not ideal. Especially because like they kind of seem like they would go to a fairly similar spot, which is just the next step to choose your selection or choose your cadence.
Yep.
The text underneath the headline's pretty hard to read, I would say, especially when everything else is so big and grand and that's very tiny. And yeah, and I think I'd get rid of those buttons. Um,
Hold on, sorry. Nerd stuff. I
well,
bet you this text is way too small. Yeah, that's 10-point font. You should never have less than 14-point font ever on your website anywhere ever. Like, you don't need to split test that. Never, ever, ever have less than 14-point font on any single thing.
I'll meet
mhm.
Dylan in the middle there and say 12, but I agree it's too small.
I would push for 14 actually because it just makes it easier, right? And like people think like luxury and sexy with like small text and that kind of stuff. 14 really isn't that big, you know? Like I think for a minimum, it makes a lot of sense.
This is something I've talked to the guys from this company a lot about this. They really lean into their marketing around this wonder and warmth. It's actually attached to their different blends and everything. I've always felt like it's too vague and it's more just like could look good on a billboard, but doesn't drive me to buy the coffee. I'd look like speaking about coffee for copy for conversion. Like, what's your take on that headline, Dylan? Is it like if we're looking at a coffee brand, what type of content would you see being more effective in that headline spot?
I don't want to wonder what I'm drinking, and personally, I only do iced coffee year round.
Well, also,
There you
what does wonder and warmth even mean? Like wonder I associate with traveling or going into the wild or like having some sort of experience. Coffee doesn't, I
Yeah.
drink coffee for ritual, right?
So listen to Sean.
Yeah. I mean, I also think Nick came with kind of pretty strong ones here, which is it's not necessarily about like you want to know what's actually happening with this coffee. Like if you said 30,000 bags shipped or like 20,000 pounds of coffee roasted, that inspires me to say, okay, I want to make this part of my ritual. I want to test it out. Most people I know, when you send them a bag of coffee, they're skeptical because they're like, is this motherfucker going to mess with my ritual? Right? They don't want to try something new. You only try it if you get a free bag or you go to the coffee shop and like, oh, these beans, as the kids say, slap. And so I very rarely have tried a new coffee that someone sends me because of anything or like anything that I see online. Like I tried was that Chamberlain coffee? And it's
Yep.
because I'd seen her around and Shrey works with her. And so I was like, all right, it's in Target, whatever. I tried it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Like I'll do this again. But it was because of some social proof that I had from a friend. Like this doesn't inspire me to do it. If you told me what people were doing with it or how many people were doing it like you have there or what's going on, again, I'm just piggybacking plus oneing from Nick's point. But I think that doesn't do the job right now.
I think one thing to note here that gets missed on their coffee in particular is one of the founders is multi-time world champion barista. And although barista is different than roasting, I think it's an interesting piece of social proof to be like, okay, well, if he was the world champion, he's probably got some knowledge, extensive
How could
knowledge
you
of coffee.
not?
So he obviously understands what tastes good if he's using his beans to
Yeah.
win the championship. I think that's something they should probably lean
Why is
into.
that not on the homepage though?
That's a
That
CRO sim.
automatically I'm in like, yo, world champion barista made this wonder and warmth shit. Like that automatically I'm in.
Oh
I
my
would
God. Literally, that should be the brand. Like, abuse that. Like,
what's
imagine
that
you had
HB?
like Shaq selling your shoes. Like,
Yeah.
like go for it, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a very distinguishable thing that,
Yeah.
one of the greatest baristas out there made this coffee and chooses this
Yeah, yeah,
coffee.
yeah. Have you seen that HVMN like whatever liquid you drink for
Yeah,
energy? You
here.
go on their website and like I hate that they have this scrolling video But like it has all these dudes like Jesse Itzler on it and Lance Armstrong. Like, dude, this is expensive, but like, is this gonna make me a superhuman? Like, if I don't drink this, am I leaving money on the table of my life? Right? Because you see those bodies that you respect for certain things that they have accomplished. If someone's a world champion barista, like take it to the bank,
Mhm.
right? Lean into that as much as possible. I don't know what well, we're on a product page.
Yeah, no, we're on a landing page now. Nick,
Okay.
you're the landing page doctor. First off, by the way, I saw before your homepage it's 1,700 monthly. This has 1,200, so change that up.
Good point. Yeah, I think the text at the top, like that again, oceanfront real estate, that it's kind of designed in a weird way or weighted in a weird way. Um, Also, if this is a Dylan, what's the URL on this? Is this like a just a regular landing page for acquisition?
Yeah, this is for acquisition. It's not it's like hidden from the front end site.
Got it. So if somebody's coming to this page, I don't know that the one thing they're thinking about already is running out of good coffee. I would
Mhm.
probably first introduce them to the brand, the product, the efficacy, the taste profile, the things that they're looking for in their coffee before I get to subscription. I get the idea of talking about convenience, and I think that that's a great way to talk about subscription. But I think that could probably be used later in the page, or it could be used as like you have your headline, you've got a couple bullet points of why you should jump into the subscription, and that's probably one of those. Um, yeah, overall, I think the page is also super text heavy. I would probably use a lot more iconography. Um, where yeah, I guess you've got some there. Even that 1, 2, 3 is probably could probably be laid out slightly differently, so you're not using as much height and requiring another scroll. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I just think
You're
like overall, this page is and again, the buttons there's three options for buttons at the bottom. The image, the bottom right corner of the image looks like another button as well. I
Yep.
think I'd probably redo this page kind of like with a fresh slate.
Yeah, I would completely scrap this and go again. You're just selling subscriptions here. You're selling a subscription to coffee because as a marketer, you want subscriptions. This says monthly subscribers. Why not drinkers? Why not coffee lovers? Never run out of good coffee again. Yeah, I could say like, hey, I sell the greatest clothing ever. That's not I don't believe you, right? Subscribe and save, delay, modify, and cancel anytime. I'm not even into your coffee yet. I don't even
Yeah,
like know about it. Like, why should I even get this coffee?
yeah.
Then choose
Coffee's a
my
growth.
subscription as button text.
Yeah.
How it works. The coffee should be about how the coffee works, right? And what makes it different, not about how you get a subscription. Uh, Choosing a subscription,
So two
details
different
about subscription,
probably
free
answer this.
subscription.
We could probably get this answered like, is this only subscription coffee? Because like one thing I have a huge piece of umbrage I take with all these brands, everyone pushes subscription first. I get it, right? You want like the money makes sense. We all understand the economics, but it is not a user-centric approach, right? You're essentially asking for people to churn or bounce from the page. Dylan, what do we say? It's like an engaged visit is what you want to see. If someone sees subscribe, if I see subscribe, generally, unless I'm compelled for some reason, peace. Like I don't want to talk about a subscription. You clearly don't think about me. I'm not going to think about you. You don't deserve my money. But if we are active in the hey, let's do the dance of first purchase, I'm happy to know that there's a subscription option as the secondary CTA on the page to know once I'm ready. For instance, I don't know, like I take Athletic Greens. I bought a one-off the first time. I subscribed right after. I'm like, okay, I like this. I feel good about what it does, whether it works or not, who knows? Um, but I subscribed the second time because they didn't push at me on the first time. They just let me know the option is there. These are the benefits that you're going to receive from being a part of the subscription. So choose my subscription on a macro. Again, I keep coming with the macro note. Just everyone who has a subscription, you push that first, you are losing potential customers. And so the little bit of money you gain on the front end of people converting on that first time is not worth what you lose long term, being able to nurture those people into those subscriptions over time. You just build better economics on the front end of your business to be able to support either liquidating that CAC on first purchase or at least knowing kind of what the payback period is going to be. So like that's a little bit of the economic side of it, but just true subscription, not it. It's not it. We should move on to another one. Hope we gave some good notes. Again, we can talk about some of this stuff offline if anyone wants to ping us. We are at about a little under 20 minutes to go on this whole thing. So let's keep rocking and rolling.
Let's
This is one of
speed date on a bunch of sites.
yeah, we're gonna go quicker. So I just put in the chat, it's Clean Choice Energy. I'm gonna put a timer for 5 instead of the 9 that we've been doing. So we'll go quicker on these.
Sean,
Oh,
shred it. Shred it.
well,
Don't be Canadian. Shred it.
Is this a landing page?
I think it is. This is a lot, man. Jesus Christ.
Ensures customers make a difference.
All right, Sophie, yes, this is
Without being rude, go to Sharma Brands or go to Oddit and just get this redesigned. I've never said this before. I'm not usually in favor of full redesign or full redo or anything. This is not it.
I
I'd
think
be curious. Maybe I'm dead wrong and it converts beautifully, but
scroll
this
down,
is
Dylan.
confusing.
Scroll down. Yeah, I think the main thing missing, I mean, yeah, the UX is not definitely jiving, but I think the main thing that is missing here is just a really clear call to just like what the hell I'm doing of adding, like I love the idea of being able to add energy to the grid. It's so new to me, right? Like I've never even thought of this. So like a little education and more clear education is probably very beneficial. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't necessarily make added to the power grid every month, each month.
That's their old site. She just sent us the new one. So
Uh,
all right. Well, guys, we're like this was the actual prestige that she was going to pull on us anyway. Old
yeah, that
site.
was
Look what I did. Look what I did.
wait.
Uh,
Uh,
it's not much better. Hey, Sophie, you're honest. I appreciate that. That
Yeah,
is
this is the new one. Yeah, it's just a little bit different here. I would message both Sean and Nick after this and just talk about it. This is also a stellar match for an advertorial or a listicle as to why, 200,000 people are switching over to this for this reason. And one other thing to add in there, charitable causes do not sell. Hot take, but people do not like there have been like proven studies by Baymard Institute that charitable like say, hey, we are saving the planet or we're helping children who are hungry or anything like that literally has zero effect on buying behavior
Interesting.
whatsoever. So it's a bonus, kind of like a social proof is like a bonus. But if you're using that as one of your angles, you're, it's almost like you're begging for the sale, right? Like you need yeah, it's like you're begging them for the sale, not informing them about the product.
The other, I think in these types of things too, it's always probably better to remove all technical jargon. Like you're trying to get someone to give. They kind of touch on in both of like, especially on the product card, just 1,000 kWh. It's like, I don't know what the hell that is. Is that an iPhone? Is that a like I just means nothing to me. Whereas if it just said that part about, offset the cost of an average American home, that could probably be more effective. Like even if that
So
was
this
there.
is the new one, by the way, that they sent. So yeah, Sharma, take a first whack at this lander. Not too much different, but at least above the fold is different. So yeah,
Yeah,
what's above the
I
fold?
think I'm a fan of what is trying to be done here, which is like show imagery of what they're trying to do. They've got the price up at the top, which I respect. They've got the social proof with the 20,000 customers, and they've got a headline that pretty much addresses what what you'll do or what you can do. I just think it needs to be redone in a way that's a bit more concise and like you said earlier, images and copy is really what's going to change here. Um, I also think like, you know, given that this is the introduction of what's happening or what you could be a part of, become a member might be a strong CTA to get a click on versus something that might be a little bit more upper, you know, you can call it upper funnel or like lesser intense in that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are up against our clock here. Sorry, we were in dev links before. We're going to go to the next one.
Yeah,
And
last one I'll say again, rewrite this headline because it's literally saying, help us, you know, add to the power grid and do your part to help the environment, right? Like
yeah,
it's like you're begging for them to come on.
yeah,
You're not giving them a reason that this is going to make their life better or anything else, or a reason to truly buy.
yeah.
Ledbury.com. Boom. Of course, Sophie, you got it. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. I can't see any of this white text, guys. Sean is the one that turned me on to having the image and then the text just below it on the hero. I totally stole that as an audit technique, not gonna lie. So, Sean, why don't you go through what you would do on that? Because I know exactly what you would do, but you'll explain it better.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, like from like a general aesthetic standpoint, these like sexy overlays can feel really nice. And I don't know, for as a UX person and someone from audit, like it blows me away that Shopify still pumps out themes with this overlays on them, like especially in the navigation. It's like I get that it looks cooler, but it's just so ineffective and pointless. Um, so even it's just really getting creative with gradients and overlays if you're going to do this. There's definitely tasteful ways to accomplish this exact same look and still be functional. Unfortunately, Shopify themes don't do a good job of it right now. But yeah, in general, it's just like if Dylan, I don't think it would even show on everyone's end, but if Dylan turned down his screen brightness, you wouldn't see any of this. It would just be like you'd see this guy's hair and his face. You wouldn't see any of the copy. You wouldn't see the product. It's just so low contrast that it just doesn't work.
Can you see that change?
No, it doesn't change it.
Dylan, can you open this up to what it looks like on desktop? I bet it's because of the way that it was designed. There you go. So like it looks a bit different, not much, but a
Just as
little bit.
bad.
But I mean, it's a tad better. Like I can see new arrivals a little bit better than I could before, and the shop now is a little less
Barely.
lost.
I
But
mean, the fact that you kind of have to squint means like you're
oh, it's
losing
it's it's not
already.
good enough. More what I'm saying is generally most people are not they're designing on desktop, not thinking how it's going to look on mobile. Even if it's not working on desktop, it's definitely not going to work on mobile.
Yeah, and it
Agreed.
honestly, it's something that all themes should address. We're actually working with a company called Presidio that works with a lot of big brands, and they produce a lot of Shopify themes, and we're working with them to rectify a lot of these archaic trends that are in Shopify themes. So hopefully you'll see more of it, but I think overall, like this isn't even necessarily the fault of the brand. I get it. This is how the theme is set up. Can you scroll a bit, Dylan? Dress shirts, casual shirts. So my biggest qualm with this overall is I don't get to what makes these unique until here, right? And if we looked at the heat map, I'm sure there's a lot of users that aren't getting this far in the page. And so up until now, I just know that you sell clothing. I don't know what makes it unique. I don't know what makes it special. I don't know if, it's really popular, how long it's been around. Maybe this is a brand that's been, who knows, from the UK and been around 60. I just don't have any context. And so you're just relying on a lot of previous knowledge from the user.
How do we
Nick,
feel on this
Nick,
nav?
what do you think? Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Sharma?
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I don't know if I'd add much to what you guys said. Um, I'll leave it at that.
Man, what a good guess. They are from London. See, I knew it.
Yeah. You can kind of tell. I love it. Even though they have it customized to US dollar, which is good for them. Um, I don't know what multi-buy is. I'm assuming that's like bundles. I don't know if that's a British phrase of multi-buy, but I have no clue as an American. Maybe I'm dumb. But yeah, I do find this interesting. One thing I do tremendously dislike here is when you click shirts, it brings a whole new menu up. there's no continuity.
Yeah.
So I would just have shirts. If these are your 4 or 5, if these are your 5, just click shirts and have a drop down of 5.
Yeah. And the,
So
I don't know if you've seen a lot of data on this, Dylan, I'm sure you have, but one thing that most themes do on the internet, this isn't just Shopify, but their solution to being responsive with lots of content is just slowly cover it, right? So if there's 4 products, you just slowly cover until it's 1.5. And it's just to be frank, the laziest possible solution. It's the easiest to execute on development. And for me, it's if I'm going to show something, it should be on screen. If you don't like, if you're going to hide it off screen, just don't have it. Like this should just be a 2 products side by side or 4 products stacked. If you have to have 4, they should not be hidden off screen as much as possible. The only way it can be effective, in my opinion, is if you're prompting them better and actually it's, let's just say that there's literally primary and secondary, right? Like this blue one is, they want to sell 9 out of 10 and the other ones are 1. Sure. But I guarantee that's not the case here. So long-winded way of saying, like, if you're going to feature something, just feature it. If it's going to be hidden off screen, just remove it.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I'd also replace those with a testimonial for real. Like that would do way better than these 2 singular shirts.
Yeah.
Last one. Boom. Let's let it rip. I was going through the scroll and I said, you know what? Someone came in late. Let's give them some love here. And we haven't done any beauty.
Also, if you guys send traffic to a different page that you want us to go on, let us know before we dive in too far.
Love that headline, the wrinkle cream of hair care.
The wrinkle cream of hair care. That's awesome. Yeah, really cool. Number 1 science-backed solution for aging hair. That's awesome. This copy is on point. Super.
Dylan and Nick, what's your take on copy on buttons? Like shop now versus shop hair care, shop whatever, something descriptive.
Nick, go for it.
I was gonna say I'm a huge fan of making not boring CTA copy. Like copy and CTA. I think in a single page you shouldn't have CTAs with the same copy. Because I think it should relate to the 1 or 2 sections prior. 2, in this case, for example, like shop now on the homepage, you got to think of like CTAs as like asking a girl to come back to your place. You got to ease into it. You can't just be like, hey, take your clothes off, you know?
Exactly.
What do you got, Dylan, on that?
My analogy, Nick, is like if you go to a bar and walk up and say, "Hi, my name is Dylan. Would you like to come home with me?" Like,
Yeah.
that's mine that I give. Yeah, you get enough people to the site or do that at the bar, eventually one will say yes. So really bad conversion rate. Yeah. So yeah, copy is really incredible here. Proven results, really incredible. I adore this. This is stellar. I also think there's a mix of models here, and different hair colors, which I think is also great. Also, there's men here as well and women. I was thinking that it was just a women's brand, but good to know that it's men as well. I would if it's men and women, I'd be curious the demographic breakdown, probably more female, I would imagine based on all the people here. Um, New plus bestsellers. These are solid. This text is also really tiny, like I'd said before. The Save 102, I do like. That's really solid. Um, yeah, overall, this is very strong. The copywriting is really on point, how it works. One thing I'd be really interested, okay, this is a really big one. Okay, so first off, FAQs, especially for health and wellness, should go way higher on the page. Like right after proven results, your FAQ should sit right here. I know the products would be further down, but FAQ higher on the page almost always works for us. Number 2, you need positive languaging in FAQs. So I have this in my book coming out, which should be about 8 weeks away. I'm super excited. Whole section on it, which is just positive languaging in FAQs. So, like, for example, if you say, you know, are there side effects? You know, are there secondary effects? If you put side effects in their head, they're automatically scanning your whole page as risk. Like you put on like, flight risk, like, uh-oh, have to be careful, have to be careful. Can I use them while pregnant or nursing? That's great. Can I take them with other vitamins? That is on the fence because now I'm starting to think like, uh-oh, like, you can click it and, you can take it with other multivitamins if you have other concerns. This doesn't really answer my question. So I would reframe this question right here to make it more positive. Like, how safe is this with other vitamins? The answer is it's very safe with other vitamins, but check with your doctor, right? That doesn't sound like a big change, but moving the FAQ up and having everything positive is really great, right? So will it leave any residue on my scalp? I'd be curious. Like you could have this as how clean will my scalp be after I use this? And then you could say, hey, it won't leave any greasy residue, right? So instead of leaving that, they're thinking of residue on their scalp, which is not a great thought or feeling. Instead, switch it to more positive languaging. That's my one I'll give here as a big one.
With a lot of those, Dylan, bringing them up, I agree with it. The only pushback I would have, or a question for you, I guess, would have is it better to just position them as key value props, not questions, right? Like, why not just say check mark, doesn't leave greasy residue, check mark. And so just put the answers as the headlines instead of making it this interactive thing.
Agreed. Let's click through. To whoever did this, do we have a certain page or is this the one that they're pushing traffic to? Or we can keep on this one. Quick, let's take a look at this. So there's a quiz here, which we didn't know. Interesting. I do like the angle of auto replenish. That's pretty interesting versus like subscribe. I really like that actually. That's actually super cool. Cool. Shop now. Let's go to a product page. Sean, thoughts? Oh, we got one for ads. Sweet.
Do you find a lot of people use the zoom on galleries, Dylan, in heat map?
Uh, Only on fashion.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Because I was looking at it and I saw revenue per click like wildly high on one of them. And I was because like I recommended them like, hey, let's look at your heat map. I think we should get rid of them. And I looked and they were wildly high. I was like, that's wild. Then I checked like 7 other websites that had them. All of them stunk. So I have 8 data points, I feel like, which is pretty solid. The fashion one, which makes sense as well. Like they were fashion like leather bags that were like four or
Yeah,
five
see the
bucks.
fabric closer. Yeah.
Exactly. So if there's a reason to see things closer, why, much as I love this last one we reviewed, it's supposed to be here. There we go. Is this the lander of the system? I think. Yeah, the system.
Yeah.
So this is the lander. How it works section. I would love a headline here, because it doesn't really look like I thought we were still in this section, the how it works. This isn't, or yeah, maybe this is still how it works, but that's a breakup as well as a button here.
And they feel separated.
Yeah, very.
It's great.
System. No icon.
One thing that I don't see in here, which I'm guessing is the case, is if I was to go on their main site and shop these products separately, I'm probably paying more. I'm not seeing that buying the system is a benefit price-wise. Like you can subscribe and save, but I'm guessing that these, like, let's say I went to the main site, I'm guessing these two products bought separately are 110 instead of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is saying the save 25 and the 75.
but that's for
Ooh, it's actually
subscribing, not for
confusing.
the bundle.
Yeah, I thought it was, I actually was confused if it was $25 or $75 because that's a really small dollar sign.
Well, guys, we are at the end of this magnum opus of a session. And so I want to thank Sean and Nick for being here, co-hosting with us. A lot of great stuff came out of this. I learned a lot listening to you three jam on all this stuff. If anyone has any questions, you know where to find all of us on the socials. Does anyone have any actual CTAs they want to give anyone? Nick has an incredible newsletter. Sean and Oddit have an incredible newsletter. Ours, which I write, is mediocre at best, so follow them first. But you know where to find us. So really appreciate everyone's time and hope this was useful to everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yep. If I can help in any way, DM, email, Dylan@hemap.com. Happy to support. And Zoom keeps doing that.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
See you
Have a
guys.
good one.
Thanks, Nick.